Hello my dear and valuable friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm Tativik, and today we're going to talk about why women talk so much and why people in general talk too much and how to stop talking too much. Our tongue can be the worst enemy and can harm us. Women tend to talk more because our brain is wired that way, that we use the side of the brain that is responsible for a language. So if women can talk 5,000 words a day, men will do maybe 2,000. So no wonder you will say like 10 words and he's like, and you're like, so there is a reason for that. But in general, I think when people talk too much, they can cause themselves to go in a wrong path that they don't want to go. And in today's video, we are going to discuss and understand how to stop talking so much, how to talk less, and understand why women talk so much. I think it's an incredibly interesting topic. I was always curious about this, so it's going to be interesting for you and for me, and we are going to have an amazing blast together. Before I start, let me remind you, you can book one-to-one coaching or request my online courses or read my book. So let's start. Number one reason why we talk so much. Of course, women, as I mentioned, talk way more, but why you talk so much, the biggest reason is insecurity. That's the biggest reason. The reason we talk so much is because we feel insecure. We feel insecure in our bodies, we feel insecure in the way we look, and we feel insecure about other people probably judging us when they actually don't even care that we exist. Insecurity comes most often from the childhood, because you see, the thing is, when you come to this world, you don't really have any insecurities. That's very interesting, don't you think? We build up insecurities throughout our life, and forbid God if our family didn't really love us or judged us or pressured us too much, then our insecurities can be way more drastic. Because you see, family is the place where you're supposed to be loved and cherished. One day when I have my children, you don't imagine how much I'm going to love those cuties. I'm going to just snuggle them in love and cuddle. I'm going to hold them and I'm going to tell them that mommy loves you. And it's not about I will have beautiful kids. Of course they will be beautiful. Come on now, look at me. But I will have happy children. That's what my goal is. I want them to be happy and healthy. Because you see, the thing is not about the looks. Beauty nowadays, especially when plastic surgery is so huge, people buy beauty, but they're unhappy and they're unhealthy and they have very critical addictions and they're on urge of suicide. So you see, the thing is, it's not about being only beautiful. Beauty does matter. You need to be beautiful. Take care of your beauty, but most of all, take care of your insecurities, because they will influence your happiness level and your health level. So the first reason why women especially, but general people talk so much is insecurity. Have you noticed that urge that you constantly are nervous? You are constantly like on the edge, on these little needles you are sitting, and you are uncomfortable. And you want to prove some kind of point, and you are trying to show that I'm worthy. Yes, be friends with me, or date me, or please take my number. You're trying to show to people that I'm good, validate me. And that's a number one red flag. When people talk too much, I always give a side eye. I right away understand is an insecurity. Now, I'm not saying if you met somebody, they're asking your name, you're like, I'm not going to answer because it means I talk too much, it means I'm insecure. No, you have to answer what's your name. Otherwise, the person will leave. So insecurity is not about saying your name or your desires or having a small talk or talking in a shop or when you go out with your friend. That is not insecurity. Definitely talk, have a good time, have fun, laugh, share your experiences and your opinions. But insecurity starts where you, for example, are talking and you see that you already told what you wanted to tell. But then suddenly you find yourself continuing, repeating yourself, giving more bullet points and explaining yourself more. And the question is, hold on a second, but you already told what you wanted to tell. You already expressed your opinion, you shared your opinion. So why are you continuing to explain yourself, provide more details, and try to convince them of what you just said? See, if you want to be convincing, the best thing is to say something one time and let it go. For example, if a man is asking you, I would like to take you out for a coffee or walk in a park. So first of all, we know that's offensive. That means he doesn't really like us and wants to spend the bare minimum on us, which is disrespectful. That also means that is an insult. Basically, he's saying, I don't care about you. I'm not going to spend anything on you. You don't matter to me. And I cannot even wish to invest my money to take you for a proper meal. Basically, I'm not interested. I'm not into you. I can't care less about you. So that all is insult. So what women usually do, knowing this truth, I have never met, to be honest, a man who is truly interested in me, who allows himself to have audacity to ask me that. If he ever does, I don't get into my emotions. I simply say, thank you for invite. I don't do coffee, but you can take me on a real date. Then they start asking what is the real date, and I give them the full scenario. Is a dinner, is flowers, gifts, properly. And if a man is interested, he will say, yeah, sure, you're right, I'll do that, no problem. If man is not interested, they'll be like, oh no, and that's the easy way for me to get rid of them. I never will go on a coffee date. I don't drink coffee, do you know that? I can't be less interested. Let's have tea. I can have tea at my home. And I have very luxurious type of tea, the tea that opens as a flower. I'm not going to drink something in a plastic, whatever. No, thank you very much. You go drink your tea. And you know what's interesting? That there will be women who will run to have that tea or that bean juice in a loud coffee shop where they can't even hear each other, where there is nowhere to sit. And they will pay for their own coffee. Oh God. No comments. That is insecurity. So when that situation happens, instead of you getting in your feelings, being insecure, you do not talk too much. Because when you explain yourself too long, too much, too aggressive, too convincing, that means you are insecure. Can we learn that today? Just say, every time when I talk too much, it means I'm insecure. Every time I text too much, my paragraphs are too long, it means I'm insecure. Every time somebody asks me a question and I answer with a long answer, that means I'm insecure. I'm trying to tell them that I'm valuable. Basically, I'm trying to prove them I'm worthy. Listen to me, I have so much to tell you. No, if you're truly valuable, you don't tell much. Have you noticed in the expensive fine dining restaurants, the price is never like $30.99. It's just $45. It's a round number, high number. You say, I can get this drink for $10. In there, it will be $12. In there, it will be $18. In there it will be 21. It will never be cheapest price. It will be high, concrete, round price. It will never have this little dots, little explanations, and no, this is the price. You want to pay, pay. You don't want, go on. We have a waiting list. The same needs to be with you. When you open your mouth, your tongue needs to relax. You can cause serious damage with your tongue. So when somebody is inviting you to an appropriate date, you just say, thank you for invite. I don't do coffee dates or I don't do park dates, but I can allow you to take me on a real date if you're truly interested in me. I want you to be courageous, and I want you to text that to somebody who is inviting you. I want your next text to be that way. And look at their reaction. They're going to ask, what is the real date? Then you can explain, if you want, we can have a proper date and you can invite me for a dinner at this restaurant. And you tell them the name of the restaurant. Make sure it's very expensive. Make sure it is far so they can take you there or order you driver there. Make sure it's hard to get in there. Your first date needs to kill and impress, not make you depressed. And I talk in poems. Has to impress you, not depress you. So when you talk too much and you explain to men, I'm watching these videos, they say you shouldn't go for coffee dates, my mascara costs more than 3 cups of coffee, I don't want to invest 3 hours getting ready because I'm worth more, you're a man, I thought you liked me. Oh, I think I'm having a headache. Stop explaining yourself. That's insecurity. Stop proving that you're valuable. Demand respect towards yourself. I don't do coffee dates. You go for a job interview, they offer you this salary, you're not comfortable, you say, thank you so much for the offer. My minimum is 100,000. They, for example, offered you 70. You think it's a big jump, but you say that's my minimum. And you know what's very interesting? That a lot of companies will actually meet your requirements. And I remember I went on a job interview and the salary they offered was lower than I expected. And I said, thank you very much. I had an amazing pleasure to meet these people that I met. They were very senior and they took care of me really well. I said, but my minimum salary is this. She said, hold on a second, I'll see what I can do. She called me after 2 minutes, offering me the salary I named. So you did have the budget. You were going to come to me cheap? Not the person. They did give me the salary I wanted and the bonus. So it depends on you, how comfortable you are, how confident you are in yourself. Number one thing why you talk too much and how to stop talking so much is look carefully, analyze your insecurities. Stop being insecure. Stop explaining yourself to people. Stop proving to people that you are worthy. Stop demanding from people attention to look at you and validate you. Look at your tongue. Try to move your tongue less. Tongue is very small but can cause an incredible damage. Talk less. You don't need to explain yourself. Talk less than you would like. That is number one, insecurity. The second reason why we talk so much, especially women, is because we are looking for, what are we looking for? Validation. We want to be validated. And we think if I talk enough, if I explain myself enough, he will validate me. He will know I'm a good girl. My goal in this life is not to be a good girl. My goal in life is not to be a cute girl. My goal in life is not to be a nice girl. First of all, because I'm a woman. I'm not a girl anymore. Second of all, My only goal is to be happy, not become a doormat. Nice girls usually finish last because they want to please everybody. By seeking validation and talking too much, you give out too much information. You open too many secrets about you too early. And you open your heart to people who know now how to harm you because you told them everything. When you're looking for validation, you tend to speak more. When you go somewhere out and people ask you a question and you talk too much with a person that you don't really know yet, you are giving out your secrets. You are putting that person in a predator mode to victimize you, to use the information that you provided against you. That's why every time when they arrest you, they say, be careful what you're saying because it might, and most likely will be used against you. Every time you open your mouth, think about it. Can this be used against me? If you had a traumatic experience and somebody abused you in your childhood, physically, emotionally, then I want you to go to the therapist, heal that wound, and never tell that to anybody again. Because you see, the thing is, when we talk about the trauma, we re-traumatize our body. Every time when you remember something that bad happened to you, you experience the same type of stress, and body doesn't know that you are talking about the past. It thinks it's happening right now. You start sweating, your heart starts pounding quicker, your hands become more sweaty, you start worrying, you start having headache, your eyes run from one side to another, your body starting shaking, and you are in stress. If something traumatic happened, you don't need to sit down with your future husband. Let's discuss this. I want to be completely transparent with you. You are not going to get any my secrets. Doesn't matter if I'm engaged to you or I'm married to you. You are not going to know my secrets because they are called secrets for a reason. When you open your heart and you are completely naked emotionally to the person that you don't know and a person you do know, you become vulnerable in a very negative way. I'm not saying hide your emotions. If the person makes you happy, tell I'm happy. If the person made you sad, sit down and say, I didn't like how you treated me. You have no right to talk with me like that. If you would like to continue having a relationship with me, we need to set some boundaries. First of all, you need to apologize. Then you need to buy me a gift so I can take apology. And third of all, you need to never do that again. The thing with the women, we look for validation and we speak so much and there is no action. For me, if you want to apologize, I'm not taking your apology without the gift. Why? Because I learned a long time ago that men learn only when it harms their pockets. Men learn only when it harms their pocket. You want to be valuable in a man's eye? Let him invest in you. You want to be influenced? Have a good influence in a man's life? Let him spend money on you. You want men to never do again the mistake that he does? Make him pay. It's very interesting how men understand only one resource, their money. So make him spend, make him invest, make him pay. Stop looking for validation, and if you have argument, you talk for 1 hour explaining what you deserve. You see how beautiful I am. How can you treat me like this? No, I'm not going to tell you that. I will say, what you said harmed me. Your voice and your words are very harsh. I'm offended. If you want to gain my forgiveness, I want you to take me to Dior store. There's a perfume I want, and there are shoes as well that I want. After that, I will forgive you. And choose whatever you want, what you fancy. Do you like a new dress? Do you want new shoes, new perfume? Whatever you like. And of course, I always ask them to buy flowers. And not like 1, 2, or 20. It has to be a solid bouquet of flowers. because I'm not looking for validation. You, my darling, are going to look validation from me. The second point, you need to learn to stop talking too much and learn to talk less. Learn to close your mouth, especially when you're upset, especially when you're angry, especially if you feel you're aggressive. Close your mouth and go to the action. Somebody does something to you that is offensive, do not argue, do not be offending them, do not let them offend you. But most of all, do not start this argument back and forth, but you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. What is the solution? You offended me. I can propose you to get me this and this, and then I will forgive you and we let it go. It's very interesting that with women, it works the same. If it's your friend and she does something, the best thing is to not argue, to not talk too long and too much. Say just, you offended me and I don't like it. If you want to be friends with me, let's deal with this. Let's go for lunch. You can pick me up. It means she's going to do something for you. You can book us a restaurant. Again, she's going to do something for you. You have to get the offender to do something for you. They have to earn your forgiveness. So by talking too much and explaining yourself too much, trying to make things work, you're actually making them not work. So stop talking too much by looking for validation. And it is actually as well relevant for the family. When you're looking for validation from your family, whatever they say, you suddenly believe in. I've always had this incredible stamina in me that even with my family, if something was not right, I somehow, even like a small girl, I felt this is not right. And I would not talk, I would stop talking to my family, and they will realize that I know what's happening and they will ask for forgiveness. And I had this kind of a intuitional type of feeling every time when I knew that it's injustice, even in the family or in relatives. It didn't really happen too much in my life, but I always knew that this is not right. You can't treat me like this. You can't talk with me like that. And even the family that is the closest, I've always had this confidence in me. And I always said, I don't feel loved right now that you're doing this. And they will always ask the forgiveness, ask for apology. And you know, I would be quiet for a few days and then I will receive a gift. Then they will transfer me some money, you know. And I learned that doesn't matter if it's your family or relatives or friends, you have to stop talking too much. You are killing it by talking too much. That is part of you seeking for validation. And you have to stop it, because if you are older than 12 or 16 or 18 or even more 21, you don't need any validation anymore. You don't need a validation. You are a grown-up. You are an adult. So start living as an adult. The best way how to practice, I would tell you, you have to watch your mouth. Now let's talk about really practical stuff. You have to watch your mouth. If you go somewhere, I advise you to do another practical thing. Not only watch your mouth, like catch yourself when you're speaking too much, but record yourself. Go on a date and put your phone on a recorder. He or she will not see that. Just record, and you will notice that you're actually not listening. You interrupt people. You talk too loud. You laugh too loud, and your laugh is scary actually. You make inappropriate jokes. You cannot hold on the pause. You talk too much. You don't listen. You argue. And you're pushy. All right, so all this we learned from the simple conversation that we recorded on a date. Or you can go another practical step to do another practical step. Ask your friends and family, do I talk too much? People will say yes. What type of sentences do I use the most of all? I had a friend of mine who said to me, can you tell me honestly what sentences I use most of all? And I said, you say very often, to be honest, to be honest, to be honest. That's the first indicator that you're going to say something that is dishonest. She said, you know what, you are right. A lot of people said that to me. And I said that it's very easy, like I admire when people ask for actually help and say, tell me truth. I always tell the truth, because what type of friend are you if you're not telling the truth? And she used to always say, to be honest, I will this. To be honest, I don't feel comfortable. I say, learn to just say your statement. Just state your statement. Don't look for validation for people to accept you. Don't say, to be honest. Say, I don't feel comfortable. Say, I would like to go there. You see, there is no need for you to say, to be honest, I would like to go there. Because people are already expecting that you're honest, that you're saying what you want. And when you're putting that sentence, to be honest, you're already giving them the signal that maybe you're not honest. Or there was a man who would say something and would always say, no problem, after every sentence, no problem. I said, every time when you're saying that, you send a signal to your wife that whatever she's asking, there is a problem. But there is no problem. She's your wife. She has the right to ask. And he said, I never noticed that. Okay. And then he stopped saying that. And he saw that in his life, things improved as well. Because when he says problem, the subconscious mind hears that word problem, and he always gets some little things wrong, because he basically every day, if you say problem 100 times, you will attract problem. Understand that you attract what you put out from your mouth. So watch out your mouth, watch out what you are saying. Don't curse, don't be aggressive, don't be offensive, be kind, to be loving in your life, and use your mouth to benefit you. Learn to talk less. And in this video, we'll learn that if you talk too much, that means that you are insecure. The only way how to be secure in yourself is to get to know yourself, analyze what you're doing, and stop explaining yourself. And also we learned that when you talk too much, especially when women talk too much, and how you can stop talking too much, you need to learn that you are doing that because you're seeking for validation. And all you need to do is the practical steps. You can record your voice. You can ask your friends or family what you're telling, what words you're using too much. You can experiment watching your own mouth when you're in public, watching what exactly I'm saying. And you need to stop looking for this approval and validation from the society, because you are already validated within. I want you to always use your tongue, use your beautiful lips for good. Watch your mouth, what you're saying, because with your mouth, you create prosperity around you. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to smile today and enjoy your life.